Hello, beautiful people. I just wanted to turn the camera on because he's outside and I had asked him to film something and he did not even ask for the camera. So I know I'm a little bit of a pusher, but come on now. I want you to say good morning. Say good morning, Nuna Tuna. Yes. Also, I wanted to show you, we saw some comments in the shop video about that Polaroid camera. So me and Larry went in the dump truck and we found the trash bag that it was in and I pulled it out. So I have to go online and check it out. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it, but thank you. There were several people who said, hey, that's worth something, you better get it, so we got it. So let me go find him and see what he's doing. It's a little dreary today. It just rained last night. Yeah, he's out in the Morton building. Jeffrey? What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Exactly what I said. What are you doing?
I'm changing the battery in the car.
Did I not ask you to please film it?
I don't even think about filming it. I just do things.
I know, but you've got to start thinking about it, and I mentioned it to you.
Yeah, but
so you need to show everybody what you're doing.
But usually I just come out here and do things, and I don't realize I'm doing it until I get started doing it. So, hey, welcome to the Ridgeway world, right?
Yeah.
I'm Jeff. You're not. So
it stinks out here.
Yeah, I know. You know why? It's because all them friggin' cats. I think they're pissing and shitting all around here. So, all right. Today, I'm changing the battery in the GTO. I went to a car show a couple weeks ago, and as we were getting ready to leave, I went to start it. It did start, but it clicked a couple times, then finally caught, and we got out of there. But what it is after I had it tested is I got a dead cell in it. But everybody always, you know, gets all excited about changing the battery. Changing the battery is probably one of the easiest things to do in a car.
Wait a minute, that light is right in me.
All right, can you go around this side?
In me sight here.
So look, hon, you can zoom right in or just closer. Okay, this is the standard battery. This is an 875 cranking amp battery, give or take. It's kind of old, it's probably about 4 or 5 years old, but when it sits in a car that's not used all the time, it
looks really, really big.
It is. It's like the old style battery.
So are batteries like that nowadays? I mean, like in, yeah?
And see, I just put one in Terry's car, about a month and a half ago, and that would have been a good video too. But again, getting back to it, batteries are really simple. You got a positive and negative. That's all you have to worry about. Newer car, well, like this car, you won't have to reset the radio or anything like that. But when you get like a newer car, sometimes you'll have to reset the radio when you change the battery because you're taking the power away from it. But again, like I was saying, so we have a positive, or we have a negative and a positive. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take off the terminal.
Is there anything you have to do beforehand? I mean, like you can just unplug this and take it out. Mm-hmm. There's no safety issues here?
Nothing licking your fingers and touching the terminals, but no, there's nothing.
All right. Don't be a smart ass.
But I'm always a smart ass. That's how I get through life. But there's going to be a bracket on here that keeps your battery in place when you go down the road. Now, some cars, the newer cars, are more of a pain in the ass to get to. Some of them are easy, some are hard. Some you got to go into the firewall to get to. But this, like I said, old cars are easy. But we want to take off the bracket or the clamp that holds the battery in. The previous owner looks like they put the biggest damn screws in here they could. And that's a 1/2 inch.
And usually all batteries are easy to get out?
No, like I was saying, they're not easy to get to, a lot of them. Most are, but some of the dealership...
How about newer cars?
Newer cars are more of a pain than the older cars, because like here you have a lot of room. So you can get in and out of this very easy, like that. And again, I don't want to scratch the paint up. Okay, so we're going to start with a positive terminal first. So all you do there is loosen that, and I'm gonna, there's are 2 different terminals. That's a 1/2 inch and this is a 9/16. So we've loosened up the terminals. Sometimes they're squeezed on, they're pretty tight, and you gotta really twist them to get them off.
So this takes a lot of strength, doesn't it?
No, not necessarily.
No?
I just make it look exaggerated.
Oh, because you grunted.
Not because I've got a gas pain.
Yeah.
Okay, so there. So we've taken off the negative, which is this. See, even on the battery, it has a negative. And the positive, which is like a red terminal because of the positivity. There's a...
Is it always red?
Yes. And batteries do weigh quite heavy because they're all full
Like
of
about
water.
how much, you think?
This is probably 20, 25 pounds, maybe 22 pounds.
Okay.
So either way, the problem is with batteries, there's a core charge. So what you have to do is you have to take your battery back to the auto parts store and change it in to get your new battery, where they charge you sometimes $10, sometimes $20. So we're going to cut this video, and I'm going to go to the auto parts store and then come back with a new battery and put that in, and it's that easy. So we'll see you in a bit.
That was fast.
Hi, honey, I'm home.
Yeah. Did you hear me? That was fast.
Oh, yeah. Well, I went to 2 different stores. 2 different stores didn't have batteries. Went to the other auto store. They had a battery, but it was the only one they had.
Oh, wow.
Because of the stinking ships that are outside the harbor and can't get in to unload, there shouldn't be any unemployment. There's stinking jobs everywhere. So,
I agree with you.
Because it's utterly ridiculous that these ships can't be unloaded or whatever out there. So, and then that there's actually unemployment.
Okay, so
surprising.
that's the exact same size battery and everything, right?
Yep. The cold crank amps are a little bit different.
How much did that run?
This battery was $179.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that how much they usually run?
Yeah. Back in the day, they weren't that expensive, but nowadays they are. I don't like the stinking handle, but what am I going to do? It's the only one they had.
Can it come off? Or
Yeah,
you're not
I'm probably going
supposed
to cut that off once everything's done. So, but again, we're going to put the bracket back on, which is this, voila. And again, don't change a battery with your car running. So, always practice safety, and I kidded around about licking your fingers before you do things. That was just a joke. Some people take things so serious. So, and again, I'm just starting to put the bracket back on so the battery doesn't slide around when you hit bumps or, you know, do anything like stupid.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Right. I thought sometimes back, half inch, that's right. Back in the day, we would half-ass things and not put this back on, or some people do it, but they end up where if you hit a bump, then the battery goes down and gets caught in the fan, and then tears things up, and then you're out of luck.
That sounds really dangerous.
Right. Well, sometimes people do stupid things, and what do we say? You can't fix stupid, and there's a lot of stupidity in the world.
That light, I get right in the lens. So when you go to put those terminals back on, do you have to do it in any certain order, or does it matter?
I really don't. I always like to put the negative on first and then the positive. So there, our battery's wedged in there. We're good. So we got our negative terminal, which we're just going to put back on, just like we had it. Keep it straight. And then I think I mentioned that this was a 9/16 on this side, and that was a half inch. So we need the 9/16 wrench. Some people like to put gel on their terminals, but
what's that for?
That's just to keep the corrosion down and connectivity good. But
well, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, but like a car like this, I'll be taking these terminals off and make sure they're clean anyways, off and on. So, okay, then we're going to go back and put the positive on.
This looks easy, like it's something I could do, except for I don't know about pulling the battery out, because that's a little bit too heavy for me.
Well, that would be your only problem, taking the battery out. But again, anybody could do a battery change. Everybody frets about a battery. Oh, that's electrical. Well, no, it is technically, but it's not that hard. And like you said, the hardest part about it is just picking the battery out of the battery box. And you don't want to, you want to snug these good, but you don't want to be too tight because these things will snap.
But batteries generally last you for years, right? Like,
yes.
Okay. And like, do they have warranties like the tires do?
Yep, this is a 3-year or a 36-month full replacement. I added the extra coverage on it because you just never know with a battery. But I'm sure you could get more of a warranty with them if you wanted, or less. It depends on what you want. And the core charge was $22.99. So, like I was saying earlier, so if you didn't take the battery back with you and you just went there and said, I need a battery, they would give you the battery, but they would charge you an extra $22.99 until you brought your old battery back. Then they will reimburse you or recredit your card or whatever the case may be. So.
Okay, so I did have one question about the battery and it left my brain. Oh, when you jump it, like we found the jumper cables at the shop. When you jump it, the cables, I didn't take notice. They're always like one's red that goes on the red and one's
right. One's red, one's black.
Neutral. Okay.
Right, and you always
so the black one goes on the negative.
Right, and again, I always try to do the so-called dead car first. So I would put the red on the positive, the black on the negative in the car that's dead and won't start. Then I'll go over to the vehicle that's running that you want your car to be running when you jump start a car, and then again you're going to attach the same one, red to positive, black to negative. Okay. So always remember, red to red, black to black when you're jumping a car. Leave that car running for a minute or two while it's basically charging, because you're going to get amperage out of the alternator of the car. That's this thing right here is an alternator. Older cars sometimes had alternators, sometimes they had generators. It was just, it depends on how old the vehicle was. Then you go back to that vehicle that was dead, and then you go to start it. Sometimes it won't start from a jump because there'll be a dead cell or there's. So then
you definitely need a new battery.
Definitely need a new battery. So
like you could jump it if it's a fairly new battery. It probably the one jump will revive it enough so that you don't have to jump it again, right?
Yes. Most of the times on a newer car or newer battery, it's just that somebody left something on. The light may have been on, your headlights may have been on, so. That's the basics of it. Okay. Again, I hope that helps. And you found out that changing the battery is very simple. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So, and I think Terry could do it again. We just have to have somebody pick it up. So, signing off from this video. Have a great day and a good life.